Alright folks, and welcome back to the Don's channel. I am the Don Father and this is hashtag AFL Car Chat. You're very welcome to today's show. I'm just going to be going over the Port Adelaide versus Brisbane score, round 17 2019. It was at the Adelaide Oval today. It was a very convincing win for the Lions. I'll go through it quarterly, scores, goal scorers, etc. I never went and bothered about getting disposal counts, marks, etc. because this message is for the kids. When you drink alcohol, kids, you're not fresh the next day, and that's what's happened to me this morning. I've now got the energy that I need, and that's because of the big bad booze. Stay away from the booze. You drink the booze, you lose. So anyway, first quarter finished 43-13 to the Lions, 2-1 to 7-1. Goal scorers for Port Adelaide, Bonner and Sam Gray. It was 7 unanswered goals though for the Lions. 2 from McCaffrey, 1 from Charlie Cameron, Witherden, Jared Lyons, Zorko, who was fantastic today, and Mitch Robinson. As I say, 7 straight goals unanswered, and then Port got 2 just before the end of the quarter. It really was a bit of a going over. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I did try and do a bit of a live stream just before Port's first goal, and then I carried on into the second, but then the kids got up. It distracted me. It was distracting me from what I was trying to do, and I just decided to call it a day with the live stream. So anyway, into the second quarter, Port Adelaide, much the same, really weren't convincing. They scored 1 goal, and that was through Sam Gray again, who was actually pretty good. Both Grays were good. Sam Gray scored 2 today, basically 1 in each quarter in the first half. Zorko with 1, Cameron 1, and Bailey with 1. It was 22-66, so a 44-point margin going in at half time. It really was an extremely one-sided affair in the first half anyway. Third quarter wasn't as good. The second half of the game, there wasn't as many major talking points, but the third quarter was probably Port Adelaide's best quarter. Charlie Dixon got one. It was quite when he scored, he was quite fired up, a bit like what he did a couple of weeks ago when he got the goal. I can't remember who they were playing now off the top of my head, but he got the goal and there was a bit of fight in him, and I really like seeing that, and that's what you need from your big forwards, scoring a goal and getting the boys going. And I absolutely loved this passion after the goal. Robbie Gray with 1. Robbie Gray has been, for Port Adelaide, to my knowledge, over the last few years, one of their best players. Again, he was great today, but it wasn't, as far as team performance goes, very good whatsoever, Port Adelaide. Defensively, I thought they were really poor. At times, they looked like they were watching the ball and not the runners. And Zach Butter's got 1. His goal was actually good from the right angle. He's came in down the boundary line into the right hand pocket and put it across the goal. It was a good finish. Enjoyed his goal. Charlie Cameron with 1, and Rayner, but just before Rayner had scored 1, he'd made a lovely mark just outside the goal square, but he missed an absolutely horrendous kick, to be fair, by his standards, and put it for behind. And then about 2 minutes later, he's up with another chance and he gets his goal, and it was actually a pretty good goal, to be fair. So as I say, they actually, in terms of goal kicking, they won that quarter, Port Adelaide. It went in at 40-84, sorry. So at this point, it was still a 44-point margin after the third quarter. Going into the fourth then, no goals from Port Adelaide. They were poor in the last quarter as well. But Brisbane Lions, just felt like they had got the job done, didn't really need to put anything extra into it. It was a bit of an arm wrestle the last quarter. Zorko got 1 and Cameron got 1. Because of Charlie Cameron's consistency throughout the game, he got a goal in each quarter. He looked tricky when he got the ball. He's full of invention, full of footy ability. I mean, his soccer ability is fantastic, and he's really tricky, and as I say, very exciting little player. I'm going to give him my personal man of the match, because I never went into the details of marks, clearances, centre clearances, disposals, possessions and all the rest of it. I never went into that because I had a lie back down. That's why I can't give you a greater detail about this match. But as I say, I just like Charlie Cameron's performance, and indeed his brother as well, for the West Coast Eagles. The two of them are really exciting players to watch. Before the game, however, Port Adelaide coach actually admitted to the press that he sent his team out with one mission, and that was to be heavy-handed on Lachie Neale. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They were too busy focusing all their attention on Lachie Neale that they were forgetting to pick up other key players like McCarthy, Cameron, Lyons was good, Zorko was good. These players were just running amok in the first half, and that was down to poor tactics by the Port Adelaide, the powers coach. He should have realised early it wasn't working. 7 straight goals should have made him realise his tactics were poor, and he should have changed it within the first quarter. He didn't. He was battered and bruised a little bit, Lachie Neale, in the first half of the game, but he's came back and he's fought on for the majority of the game, and he's been in the winning side, and I think that was down to poor team tactics from the Port Adelaide coach, and very slow to make a change, but also admitting his game plan to the press just before a game is nothing short of embarrassing and amateur. Wow, I don't have a problem with somebody setting up their team to be physical and targeting key players, but to admit that in the press, for it to not work, and also for it to take so long to realise it's not working and make any sort of change. Bearing in mind, Port Adelaide absolutely destroyed the Crows last week. This was equally as horrendous on the other side of it. Polar opposite performance. I blame their coach entirely. The game plan was his. He set them up. Port Adelaide are better than that, targeting one man. If they went man for man and played their game they did last week, I'm sure it wouldn't have been as such a going over. They might have lost the game. I don't know. I did predict the Lions win before it, but it maybe wouldn't have been such a drubbing. 49-97 in the end is a big scoreline in your home ground after a massive showdown derby victory. I blame the coach entirely for the win. I'm sorry if that upsets any Port fans, but you should be looking at him as well. Admitting tactics before a game is schoolboy. Nobody does it, especially not head coaches in a professional job. More fool him, and for him to not be able to change it when it wasn't going well shows you that he's really poor to notice things aren't really slow in the uptake to notice his game plan's not working, or maybe it was his ego got in the way of making the correct decisions, because people like Travis Boak, key players, couldn't get into the game, and it makes me wonder, was this because of the tactics? I don't know. Anybody that knows the game a little bit better than I would, let me know what you think in the comment section below about that. I'm going to go on to now a little bit of a review on the Richmond one and the Giants. Going into this, the Giants had 3 losses and 2 wins out of 5, and Richmond had 2 wins and 3 losses out of 5, but Richmond's ones were 2 wins back to back, and the Giants were going into this with 2 losses. I predicted a Giants win, and I was well and truly wrong. Richmond were absolutely brilliant today. Things did go in favour of them, I feel, in terms of umpire decisions. I do think they were slightly hard done by the Giants with a couple of decisions. However, I do still feel the Tigers were the better team and would have went on to win the game anyway. Big talking point for the Giants is Caniglio's out. They look like they've got a couple of injuries there. Going into next week, it could be worrying times for them. That's 3 straight wins, 3 straight wins in a row now for Richmond, and 3 losses now for the Giants. Really worrying times for them. Their form has dipped dramatically. I would be concerned if I was their supporters right now, but the Tigers, it's all looking good. Players are coming back. I think their next games are 7 of them, I think, are being played at the MCG. If that stat's wrong, I apologise. It's what I thought I heard the commentators say today. And also, players are coming back. They've got momentum on their side. Who knows? Richmond might find themselves higher up than what they believe. They're now 5th. They've jumped the Giants. They're now 5th in the ladder. Giants have dropped down to 6th. Port Adelaide are now 9th. Brisbane have found themselves in 3rd, which is unbelievable. On to the Western Bulldogs, and they beat Melbourne 76-66 by a 10-point margin today. So they've went from 12th to 10th, and Melbourne have stayed the same at 16th. So well done to the Bulldogs now. That is 3 wins on the trot. They have been really good. They've been scrappy. They've got the job done. And who knows, could they find themselves in the top 8? just at the business end of the season? I'd like to think so, because this is a team I really enjoy watching. They're exactly the style of the footy I like. They're battlers, they're hungry, they play for each other. They don't play the most sexy sort of footy, but I like their spirit, I like their heart. They're really determined outfit, and they have actually got players that can hurt you. So all in all, it was a great weekend of footy. My predictions were nothing short of shocking. Terrible. If anybody actually put a bet on other than Dylan, who was doing it for me, based on my advice, I apologise sincerely, because I was brutal. However, I don't think there was many people that would have predicted some of those results this weekend. This sport is incredibly hard to predict, and that is down to the pure competitiveness across the board. Teams can beat anyone on their day, and it's been an absolute privilege to watch this sport for the last few months. I hope you've enjoyed my reactions. I hope you'll continue to watch my car chats, table talks, etc. Chip in with the when I'm doing the live streaming. If you're donating on the the super chat, that was absolutely amazing through the week. I didn't expect that. So if anybody ever wants to be able to super chat donations, that is fantastic. I won't do them all the time, but when I do them, get ready to donate, because they are enjoyable. I do get the live game ones are hard, but if I'm doing a live stream where we're just talking about AFL, they're probably the best ones for the AFL audience. I will come up with some stories for next week. But all in all, great weekend of footy. I'll just run through the teams who won. Collingwood, Carlton, Hawks, Essendon, Crows, Geelong, Richmond, Bulldogs and Brisbane. Congratulations for your weekend results. I'm sure round 18 is going to be absolutely sensational as well, and I will be there with more reviews, reactions, chat, etc. Thanks very much. Don't forget to check out all my platforms in the description section below, and how you can support the channel grow and get us to Australia. That would be fantastic. And that's just it, guys. Subscribe, share the videos if you can. That really does help. Get your friends watching if they like footy, chat, etc. because it's all going to be happening here for good now. I'm absolutely committed to doing AFL for good now, and I will not stop, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks again. I am the Don Farrell. Yes, you're probably wondering, why is he wearing a Freo jersey? If you haven't seen my parcel unveiling, this was a friend of mine from Scotland. He's living in Perth. He sent me this Guernsey. I have no affiliation to any team. I love the Guernsey. It's an indigenous one. Absolutely sensational stuff. A very, very generous gift. But I know there's other people sending me other team stuff as well. So as I say, I don't have a team. All stuff that's sent will be worn and used, and also will be put up on an AFL themed wall that I plan on doing in the future. A studio, an AFL studio, where I can bring you loads of AFL content, and who knows, I might actually in a few years time be running my own AFL podcast when my knowledge grows. That is something I've been thinking about at the back of my mind for a while now, but bear with me now while I'm still learning, and don't lose faith. Thanks very much. See you soon. I am the Don Fella. Peace and goodbye.